This is my brand new orchestral template for 2026. I've added some seriously good new instruments to this, which I'm really excited to show you alongside my old faithfuls. Today, I'm just going to give you a breakdown of basically what I have in my template, why the instruments are there, how it's organised, a little bit about reverb, all that sort of thing. We're just going to see what happens in this video. If you've got any questions, put them down below, give us a little like, give us a subscribe, that'd be amazing. And I really hope you enjoy this video, my first look at my 2026 orchestral template. Let's get into it. So this is the template as it stands. These things are always a kind of work in progress, but I think I have it in a pretty good place. Now, I have to be honest and say I did not actually build this template. This is from the amazing programmer, composer, musician, Simon Passmore. So let's just go top to bottom. We're going to start with the Woodwinds. I am using these Venture Infinite Woodwinds. These are just really gorgeous instruments, and because they are sample modeling instruments, I don't need multiple patches. I can play staccato and legato in the same phrase. It just makes them so intuitive, and you actually kind of perform with them, which is just great. And there's none of this sort of key switching nonsense. And they are extremely light on CPU and on RAM. It's only 30 megabytes of RAM. Here's a bit of the piccolo as well. Just so playable. I'm a terrible pianist, but for some reason it actually kind of makes me sound okay. We'll talk about reverbs as well as we're going on. So everything is being routed into 2 reverbs, an instance of cinematic rooms, and this is literally just doing the early reflections, an altiverb, which is doing the late reflections, and each time I'm making different changes to kind of the colour of them. So the further back it is, the less brightness, the less wide it is, essentially. I might do a longer video talking about this, but that's essentially what it's going through, just so it doesn't sound absolutely terrible when I'm sketching, so it does feel like things are kind of in the right place. Okay, so let's just carry on. The oboes, I'm not going to go through every single one. The oboes are really beautiful. To make it even more real, you'll be able to see I'm using CC21 to control the vibrato, so that really helps, alongside CC1. Clarinets again, more Venture. Lovely richness. Great. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to press the hidden button and show you what I have kind of lurking in the background. I've got these instruments from Performance Samples, which are trills. These are so good. Why don't I have these visible straight away? The odds of me needing a trill is, I'd say, 30%. So it's more information I don't want to look at while I'm just trying to sketch, while I'm trying to write quickly. The odds of me needing a piccolo, very high. The odds of me needing trills, much lower. So by hiding them, I'm making the whole kind of presentation of the template so much cleaner and clearer. That's what I'm really going for here. So I know that it's there if I need them, and I don't need to go hunting around my library desk to try and find them. I just don't need them there the whole time. And the same here with flute 3. I might need a flute 3. I know it's there. I can just load it in. Alto flute. This is a really beautiful instrument, again from Venture. But the odds of me needing it, probably, 30%, 20%. It's not a default instrument in my template. And then more performance samples, flutes, which are kind of again hiding in the background. These are flutter-tongue. Again, the odds of me needing flutter-tonguing, 30%. So I hide it, so I don't need to see it. It doesn't need to distract me. Okay, bass clarinet. Really great bass clarinet sounds. Okay, and bassoons. And again, I'm not really writing hybrid orchestral music here. I'm trying to make my music sound as realistic as possible. And I like to think that these Air Venture instruments certainly do that. Contrabassoon, great instrument, again, from Air Venture. Again, great depth. And see how quickly it loaded in as well. It's just really saving me so much time. So I'm going to turn off all the woodwinds. That gives you a rough idea of kind of what I'm using there. And we can turn off all hidden stuff. And that gives you an idea of basically what I'm using. But when I first open the woodwind stack, I'm just seeing the absolute basics, the bare minimums of instruments that I'll probably need. And then I'll add more to it. And this is something that I used to do in my kind of previous iterations of this template, is have every instrument there possible. And it just becomes overwhelming and you can't find anything. You don't know your way around your own template. And it takes half an hour to scroll from the woodwinds down to the strings, which is just wastes so much time and is really counterproductive to creativity. That's really what I'm trying to build with this, is creativity. That's really what I'm going for here, is to make the writing as spontaneous and as easy as possible without the technology kind of getting in the way. That's really my aim here. Okay, onto the brass. These are again from Air Venture. I've had these for quite a while and I absolutely love them. I think that the sound of them is just so good. Just so musical and playable, and I just love having them part of the template. Again, the reverbs that we are going into are the same rooms, just with some changes made. So you can see the proximity on the early reflections is now far to put them in the space a little bit. Got the same but highly dampened version of the same room again, and a little bit of EQ when you do push it quite loud. So you get a lot of really harsh frequencies in here, which I'm just trying to kind of clean up and take out. I'm really trying not to do much processing at all. I don't think they need a huge amount of processing, and they really sound like they're in the space. In terms of panning, I'm just going by the default settings that Air Venture has here. I think they work brilliantly well, and I would use 4 horns together. the whole time if I could. It's just really great. Okay, the trumpets, these are again Aaron Venture. I love that sound. I'm not doing really any processing to them at all. A little bit of EQ, similar to the horns. I'm taking a lot of this harsh frequency out, which I think does help the sound a lot. In fact, let's just hear one trumpet on its own. I'm in a kind of quartal, quintal kind of mood. If you play around with vibrato depth in this again, it just sounds way more realistic. Again, that's what I'm really going for. Trombones, Aaron Venture again. And then the unison. Nice edge to them. Again, just pulling out a little bit of the same kind of harsh frequencies. Then we come to the tubas. Again, just great, really brilliant brass sound. You can get a really amazing low brass sound. I'm going to rip off some Howard Shore. It's just so good. And I do think it sounds pretty realistic. I'll show you what's kind of hidden within the depths of the brass. So we've got 2 extra horns, trumpet 4 just in case, a piccolo trumpet, again, not a definite requirement, but could be there, so useful to just have it available. Trombone 3, and then a contrabass trombone. This is great. This is a really, really edgy sound. Yeah, again, very enjoyable to use because it's so musical. Okay, that concludes brass. Again, if you have any questions, put them down below. While you're there, give us a little subscribe. If you're enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it. That would be amazing. If you fancy subscribing, that would be great. Okay, percussion. Timpani, I'm using, I think, Museo. Again, using different versions. This is hard hits. crescendo, rolls, snare drum. These are the drums, so snare drum again from Museo. And then we come to our first Abbey Road Orchestra instruments. So let's just, this will take the longest to load in of all of them. Unfortunately, that's just the way Abbey Road Orchestra seems to be built. That it's not so bad. Okay, so we've got these snares from Museo. If that's going to load in, well. You all know what a snare drum sounds like. And this is Abbey Road Orchestra bass drum. Exceptional sound. Here I'm just using the tree and a little bit close for definition. Really just a brilliant bass drum sound. Worth the kind of elongated load-in times for that sometimes. It can just, Abbey Road Orchestra can sometimes just take a little while, as you'll see when we get onto the strings. So onto the cymbals, and really all that I use most of the time are these by Waves Factory. Because they have really excellent sounds. And what is brilliant is I don't have to move MIDI around. Just what you play is what you get. I've never needed any other cymbals than these. I do have some crashes from East West and Tam Tam from East West. Okay, and then the kind of epic percussion, a lot of Abbey Road stuff, Damage. Yeah, this is, could go down many rabbit holes. Don't often use that in orchestral stuff, but it's just there just in case. Lots of Abbey Road stuff as well, which is great. Shakers, I'm using this instrument called skaka, which is just really great. Brilliant thing is you get a lot of control over it. It's just a really organic sounding. And you can have a lot of control over it. Skaka is absolutely brilliant. Then we've got drum sets, which I don't really use too much, and that kind of concludes percussion. Keys and harp, the pianos. For me, there is just like one go-to piano, and it is the grandeur. I could play it all day. It's just amazing, and that's just the default setting. It's just such a gorgeous, particularly for melodic stuff. But I mean, it does have a lot of punch as well. I'm gonna remember that. That came out of nowhere. Then the high register is gorgeous. It just has that really intimate, organic sound. It really sounds very, very natural. And really, it's the only piano that I have loaded in here. I have loads of pianos, but this is just my go-to. Okay, harp. Using Cine Harp. Just really gorgeous, and lots of different key switches, really good glissandos, just a really good starting point for harp. Okay, then we come to choir. Do you know what? I'm actually not going to show you this because I actually rarely write for choir. I actually don't have anything there at all. I think it's all East-West choirs. It's just not something I normally go for. Let's not waste any time and let's get on to the main event, and that is the strings. So I'm going to spend a bit more time kind of talking about how this is all sort of rooted and kind of set up. The main library is, of course, Cinematic Studio Strings, and I'll just open that up and show you how it's sort of rooted. So we have this instance of Contact is set up as a multi-output, and what I have is the violin 1 spot, so the close going in one channel, and the main going into a separate channel. So I have separate control over what's happening. Now, the close is not being processed at all. It's not going to any of the reverbs whatsoever. And that is very deliberate. And the reason for that is that I want only the main mic to go through the reverbs and for the close to just be there for a really clean, crisp detail. That's kind of what my plan is here. So that's these two channels here are the Cinematic Studio close and main, and they're being supported by Cinematic Studio solo strings, violin 1. And this is what it sounds like when I play all of it together. I'm pretty happy with the sound of that, I have to say, considering there is no processing at all apart from this new Fat Filter C3, which I've been experimenting with. More on that soon, maybe. Really, it's just kind of lightly panned within the plugin. What I have hidden, though, in the wings, lurking, is an instance of Abbey Road Orchestra Violin 1, which I'm just going to load in now. And I'm using it only sometimes, or I do use it only sometimes, just to add a bit of extra depth. So I'm using just some very specific microphones. And the reason why I don't have this ready as part of my main template is it makes it look busy, as I said before, and also look how long it's taking to load in. I have a very fast external hard disk, and still this is taking its fine time to actually load in this. So I have to really want it, because this is just, this is wasting quite a bit of time. It's the biggest problem, I think, with Spitfire Abbey Road Orchestra is that took, 40 seconds to a minute to load in. It's quite a lot of RAM, but I think it does add a certain depth to the overall sound. So I'll play something sort of similar. I think it just adds a richness that Cinematic Studio Strings just don't quite have. And then if I just take away Abbey Road, Here it is back. I think it does make it a little bit richer. Will anyone notice? Probably not, which is why I leave it hidden, simply because I don't want it there to begin with. I don't want to waste time letting it load in, and maybe once the piece is kind of finished and it's sort of sketched, then I'll add it in. I know it's always kind of there in the background. Violin 2, again, I've done the same kind of thing. I've got it waiting in the background. The violas, again, same thing, waiting in the background. Let's just hear a bit of the cellos. Really gorgeous depth to it. Now I'm going to load in Abbey Road Orchestra cellos, and let's see how long this takes. It's going to take a while. It may even crash it. No, don't do that. It's going to take a while. It's a lot of gigabytes to load in, which is absolutely fine because the quality is there. Again, using just a small number of mics just to add a bit of depth to it all. A bit of I suppose a different color is what I'm looking for, and the combination of them, I think, complement each other pretty well. So all this time, it's still loading in, It just takes a time. You can see why this isn't part of my normal template because it just takes too long. Still loading in, tons of mics. I could just use a normal mix and that'd be quicker, but you know, I want to be kind of controlled about this. I've also done, I've removed a lot of the patches that I know I will never use, just to make it a wee bit quicker to load in. But again, that took quite a bit of time. Sorry, Spitfire. I love your instrument. I think it sounds great. Here's them all together. I love the sound, and I do think it's worth having Abbey Road's orchestra cellos with them, just not in the initial stages of you writing something. Later on, when actually using them for color. However, that all said, when we get to the basses, you'll notice that Abbey Road's basses are not hidden at all. A couple of reasons for this. First off, there is no Cinematic Studio solo basses, so I can't add that kind of detail with Cinematic Studio strings by default. And I think that the depth that you get from Abbey Road Orchestra basses is absolutely sublime. And I think the combination of the two works really well. So again, we've got the close mic, main mic, and then Abbey Road basses. And let's just fling open. It's loading in. Okay, only 2 odd gigabytes. Only using 2 mics, so that's why. So a bit of close and the room. And all these signals are mono, so I can move them around with Panbox. But again, I just want them to be really mono. So here's Abbey Road on its own. Not the kind of main deal. And here is both of them merged together. If I turn off Abbey Road basses, here is just Cinematic Studio strings. Here here is with Abbey Road in again. You can really, I think, hear the depth, and that's why I'm happy to wait for this one to load in, because I think it makes a huge difference and it is part of my template in general. That's why this is here. Oh, only Abbey Road goes that high. I just think the depth requires those two together, kind of being blended together. Again, exactly the same reverbs with different kind of settings, close proximity, and a much brighter version of this mechanics hall, so it just all sounds a bit closer. That's essentially what all the strings are going through. And as I said, the close signals are not going through any sort of reverb at all. Now we get to some really fun things. We get to the solo patches. Now these are great. Now this is where I'm going to highlight, first of all, this amazing instrument called Novella Blackwater by Westwood. And Westwood really kindly sent this to me last year. And this has made it into my template. This is a new instrument that has made it into my template. Blackwater is exceptional. I just love this sound. The drones are just great. There's that really gorgeous, very organic sort of sound. So yeah, this was a new instrument. This is a new instrument which has made it into my template, and one which I hope to use a lot of. I absolutely love it. And there's more Novella Blackwater and other Novella instruments coming up. Okay, then we've got these amazing instruments from Performance Samples. This is a solo strings. Totally different to the gut violin. This is properly classical. The gut violin is much more folky and rustic. I love that sound. And then there's the same, but legato sustains for the cello, which is really great. But this one I want to highlight, Vista 2 solo cello. This is my favorite cello instrument ever. It is so realistic. Beautiful legato. Really stunning legato and just beautifully captured instrument. I think it's absolutely great and I love using it, and hence why it's been in my template for a really, really long time. Okay, and then we have ensemble patches, and these are really, really wonderful. I'm just going to kind of go through what we've got. So again, Performance Samples. These are Whisper Sustains, which I bought quite recently. chamber ensemble kind of sound. Just beautiful sounds. And then the same kind of patch, but these are just sustains. Really useful just to have this kind of more intimate chamber kind of sound. And then some of my favourite short patches. Again, performance samples. The cellos and the basses work immensely well together. Really, really great, and just perfect to have just available there just to load in, open up and use. And now we come to some more Westwood instruments which I've made it into my template. There's a Novella Carbon which they sent to me at the end of last year, and these are, you'll notice the note I've written is colourful. These are just absolutely brilliant. These are legato high strings. Totally opposite to what Cinematic Studio Strings and Abbey Road Orchestra do, which is exactly why they're there. Different colour, different kind of sound. Now we get some really fun instruments. Should have really started with these. Novella Carbon high strings. And I've even written use because I think that this is just the most exceptional string sound to get. And this is all part of the same library. I think you get like 13 instruments or something, which is absolutely amazing. And this is called Spectral. Has this gorgeous, unmeasured kind of sul ponticello, sul tasto scratchiness to it, which is just, I just love. Just has that really unmeasured, very organic sound, which is why it's in my template, which is why I think it is really, really useful to have this just available if I need to kind of change colour or change atmosphere. Blends really well with Cinematic Studio Strings as well. And these low ones are just great. I just love the sound, love the way they've been captured, love everything about them, hence why they're in the template. More Novella Blackwater. These, oh, this is just great. This is Flint. All of these are just brilliant. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see why this has made a space in my template, and it's just beautiful. And these are just here so I can just fling them in quickly. Okay, then we've got high strings kind of effects. just sets an atmosphere straight away. Stutters is a great one as well. Fire and Flint, this is great. Without actually doing much, I played 3 notes there and changed one of them. It had a whole atmosphere to it because it has this organic sort of forward momentum, this kind of energy about it, which just works brilliantly well. Same in the low strings as well. It's all the same kind of. You can sort of hear how that would work really well with some like dark horns or low brass or something like that. And then Novella Carbon strings again. This is another, so still by Westwood. These 2 libraries, Carbon and Blackwater, just exceptional. I've enjoyed looking at the instruments I'm going to be using this year. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. I'd be really happy to get back to you as always. And I want to go and write something now. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be more coming very, very soon. And let me know if you've got any comments or questions down below. Give us a little like and a subscribe while you're there. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for coming. Cheers.